Oh, hi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time for your favorite show, and well, my favorite show, as a matter of fact, mainly because of our awesome hosts that we have, not to include me. That is time for Love Hacks. Stay tuned.
Check this.
Well, everybody, hi, how are you? My name is Lee Bailey, and of course, we've got Mr. Billy Riley. He just came on, by the way, Lisa. So I just wanted to tell you, we may be in for a interesting jaunt of a show with Billy Riley today.
You never know when Billy's here.
Marie is so hot. I don't
All
even
right, see, I told you.
I told you.
I could tell by looking at the picture that and where he was that.
Where are
How
you?
many? He's at a bar somewhere.
Imagine Lee's shock.
That you were at a bar?
Well, of course I'm in a bar.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm just trying to figure out my whole life still.
Why?
Yeah?
You know what?
I think you got it all figured out.
Things are good right now, dude.
Yep.
Without Lee Bailey and without Lisa Marie, there'd be no life for me right now. Everything is great.
Well, wait a minute.
I feel good, and I have the best friends in my whole life.
I'm glad to hear that, buddy. You got lots of good friends.
So
you got lots of good friends. Talk to me about this place you're at, buddy.
So I'm at Fireworks Pizza on Clarendon Boulevard. It's probably going to be one of my new locations for work for a while.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to get back into this for a while.
Okay. Everything's still going on at Twins,
for
right?
a big announcement?
Everything's still going good at Twins, right?
Twins is amazing. Everything's going great.
Good.
And we're glad to handle your sister's paint.
Yep.
And everything's good right now.
Outstanding. Well, as you know, Billy, because you know what we actually do, ladies and gentlemen, have a little bit of a discussion here and there about what's going on before we go on the air. And
hey, by the way,
yeah.
Say to my bro.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey,
just got back
how are you?
The State Department work in Saudi Arabia. That's all I can say. Nice he'll kill me.
All they can say.
Shoot me if I say this. So it's all good. He's a great man. He's a fucking legend and a hero.
Language.
And we're celebrating his return to the States. And I passed the test. Like, he was able to hang out with me. So
Cool.
it's all good. And by the way, have you met Lisa Marie yet? Oh, my God.
Hi.
Hi. Gorgeous. Are you kidding me? Dude, it's a fucking total
You know what?
Show.
It doesn't matter.
It's a total smoke show.
It doesn't matter.
Hold on. Let's
She's
check
very
one more
sweet.
time. Get in here. Look at that.
You're embarrassing him. Hi.
Hey, Lisa,
Hold on, let's
how
put
we
it-
doing here?
Here we go. We'll do this. There we go.
Oh, come on. Now you got to embarrass me.
Yeah. I'm
Embarrass
you.
Are
All
you
right. Anyway.
kidding me?
Well, why didn't you invite her to be there with you, Daisy's voice?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, Lisa Marie?
No.
Look at
No,
this
not
name.
kidding.
Like, is she single? Of course she's single. You think I just would just talk to you about her? He's like, what a smoke show. I said, of course it's a smoke show.
You guys are silly. But you guys are always going out without me. You never
She's in
invite me.
Woodbridge. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. Hold on.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Lisa Marie, I don't have a choice.
Okay.
Where'd he go?
Who knows? It's Billy.
Oh,
He's
who knows?
crazy.
All right. All right. So, Lisa, let's, before Billy gets back in with us and we start getting off track again, let's talk a little bit about what we were talking about tonight. We were talking about really the trend of dating in America right now. Maybe, I guess it could be a worldwide phenomenon as well. How the dating world is kind of this whole, all the apps and all the dating, how because of, I'm not saying why, but we all know why, has been really making this super downtrend. And now people are trying to rebound that by really creating a marketplace of dating. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, when people started moving toward dating apps to meet people, people became like commodities. So you would go on your dating app and you start shopping like you would shop for, a camera or a phone or whatever, So you start scrolling through and you have this list of I wants and whatever, and so you just keep looking and looking, and it's become, people have become like a commodity rather than an individual. And so everybody has their list of must-haves and like-to-haves, and it's like, if you were buying a vacuum cleaner, you would shop around, you would pick the one you wanted, and then you'd stop shopping. But in the dating world, people don't do that. They will go and they'll meet somebody, but then they will say, well, maybe there's something better out there. And then they keep shopping, and then they try to come back later and say, well, and I couldn't find any better. And now go out with me. And you're like, no, it doesn't work like that.
No.
So there's some definite problems in the way people are dating these days in the dating marketplace, which is what it's really become with the online dating.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the apps, some of the apps don't have, some of them are extensive in the questions they ask so they can try and match you up with somebody. Some are not, they just put your name and face up there and what do you like, what do you don't like, and boom, there it is. And I think those are the sites that a lot of people are staying away from. I think it's kind of cool that you do the Scantron thing and see who makes who. Remember back in the 80s when they had you filled it out and they ran the Scantron and they matched you up at the bar or whatever. I never did one of those, but I always wanted to. I think I was just too young to do that. But I wanted to do it because it looked so cool that we could match up. And we did something like that actually in school, where we matched people up from their likes and dislikes, and it was a sociology class I was taking, and we were trying to, seeing how sociologically speaking, do people match up? Can you match up people?
The problem with doing that is even though somebody looks good on paper, say that you're over 6 feet tall and you got a great job and everything, they look good on paper, but people aren't that predictable, as far as their romantic chemistry. So somebody might be perfect on paper and you're like, oh, I met the one, and then you go out with them and there's no chemistry. There's no, you're not feeling it. So a lot of times these big checklists that people have, I got to have this and that and this, and you find it, and it's, without that chemistry, you're just looking at a commodity, but that doesn't work the same as it is when you're buying a product,
Right.
Because,
well, it's kind of the same in a way. I mean, because you buy a product and you go, ooh, this looks so cool. And the guy or girl explains how it works or whatever. And you're like, sweet. And then you get home and you're like, I'm kind of confused. I don't know how in the world this is
or you
supposed
go
to
and
work.
or you go and you buy a new camera or a phone or something,
That's
and then
what I'm saying.
the next day
you think,
your friend's
cool.
like, look at the one I got, and then you're like, well, that one's way better.
yeah, and so that's one of the reasons. That's what people, and that's the mindset that people have. I think that they need to get rid of. I mean,
yes,
the mindset you need to find is that that's a person, and is there there has to be attraction, of course. You
Yeah.
know, when they're watching this, but when they're seeing people, there has to be that spark. But it's good to start with, I think, 4 or 5 people that kind of line up with you as far as your beliefs, your what you like and what you don't like, and those kind of things. And then from those 4 or 5, let's see. Well, let's see if one of them has a spark that's going to attract me. You know, and I hope that in my case, everyone sparkles. So, you know, my whole thing coming into the whole dating or courting or whatever, trying to find somebody who is going to be in a relationship with me, I want to know who I can find that I spark, you know, because that was the
Right.
biggest key for me is, you know what? I love everybody and I can attune myself to whoever. I need to find that person who can put up with me or likes me or is attracted to me, you know. And so that's how I always approached it. So I don't know if that's a good way to. What do you think about that approach? And be
Um,
easy with me if you think that's the wrong approach.
well, most people aren't like that. Most people have a list of this is what I want. I
Yeah,
want a 6 foot tall blonde with,
right, right,
that owns a beer factory and a boat and whatever. And so most people have like this list of, this is what I want. And if you're not exactly that, they will keep looking and keep looking. And a lot of times they just miss that connection.
right.
So
And I'm not going to say that I didn't have, you know, ideal, an ideal in my mind. But that ideal I pretty much knew was probably not going to happen. Even though, I mean, hey, Dorothy Hamill. Oh man, but Dorothy Hamill, man, I was in love with her, and I would have loved to have found someone that was exactly like her in my
right.
brain. She might be the nastiest woman in the world, but in my head, she was the sweetest thing, and I think she actually is. So there
Yeah.
you but and I can come up with even now married, and I have an ideal that I'm married to, who I love dearly, but she doesn't really fit into any of the ideals. But she
Yeah.
fit in God, and for me, my faith, she fit into God's ideal for me,
Yeah.
and I trusted that, and that's where we are, and I'm happy to be there. I still have my little crushes, and I come across people just in everyday life, and I go, that person is so unique, so interesting. I want to get to know them better. But it's like, oh, that sounds creepy, whatever. And, because they won't understand. I'm not trying to come on to them or whatever. I just want to say,
Yeah.
tell me about you. You seem very interesting. And and I don't do that, of course, because that sounds like some big goof trying to
Yeah.
be a goof. Anyway.
Well, not you as nice as you, Lee, So.
Oh, thanks. Um, I think everybody has it in them. I'm gonna put it that way, but unfortunately, they meet people. But so, as they're shopping for, okay, can you do it that way? I mean, can you address what's happening and can you say, I'm looking for somebody who, is tall, dark, and handsome, girls, or and then you end up with squeaky little, nerdy guy, but he's the guy you fell in love with. I mean, you're like going, wow, what happened here? I mean, I've met some very attractive, beautiful young ladies, and the guys they're with, which always gave me hope, actually, were not your average tall,
Yeah.
super strong, super cool dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, guess who's back?
So, oh no, it's trouble.
A struggle?
Trouble.
Are
Trouble.
you kidding me? A struggle?
Trouble.
You're trouble. That's your middle name.
You know what? I
Did you
got a
see your
guy.
name?
I got a guy sitting here
Uh-oh.
in an establishment with me. He says, "Is she for real?" I was like, "No,
No.
she's not.
Not at all. Not at
She's
all.
not for real at all." You know what she's about? She has no idea she's beautiful. She has no idea she's gorgeous.
She knows
She has
she's
no
gorgeous.
idea
Stop it.
that there are
No.
men around the world that would drop everything to have a moment with her.
Oh,
And guess
that's
what?
sweet.
And what?
That's
You think
sweet.
it's me?
No,
You
I would
think
just
that I
you're
have to
just being
engage
nice.
you that that's a reality for you?
That's
No,
reality for
no.
her.
What the
That's
F
it's
are
not.
you talking?
It's not that easy. It's not
What?
that easy. It's not that easy.
Are you kidding me? You know
I heard
what? You
someone.
know
Wait a
what
minute.
I
Wait a
did
minute.
today?
I heard
You
someone
know what
say
I did
diamonds.
today? I
Lisa.
cussed in front of his mom.
I know you did. Who did? He cursed in front of my mom. Hey, listen. I heard someone know where Joey is say diamonds. Lisa. Well, who was saying diamonds?
What?
Never mind. I heard someone saying diamonds. Like I'd give her diamonds. I was like, well, I think we can be. I can broker something here, maybe.
Well, I don't know, but I think this guy that travels the world is about to pop a cap at me if I don't give her
No,
his name.
you get. Yeah, that's what we'll do. You give his name and number, and we'll pass it along. Name and number, and we'll pass it along. No
You guys, I swear.
Hey, Lisa, how we doing? Come on, get over here.
Oh my gosh,
Step
he's
into
really
my
gonna
show.
try to set me
Hey,
up on
Lisa.
the show.
How we doing here?
You're doing good. It's nice
It's
to meet
not
you. It's
awkward.
very awkward.
Are
It's
you
very
think it's
awkward.
awkward? Are you out of your
Billy,
mind?
how many drinks have you had
The
today?
hottest broad on the planet.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
inside of 5 minutes walking into any
So,
bar,
Lisa,
he's
let
got
me ask
4
you a
drinks.
question. He's like, oh man. No, Lee gets it. Hey, Lisa, am I okay to give him your number?
No. You get his name and his number, and we'll pass it along to Lisa.
If Lisa, if you wanted,
Yeah. There you go.
I think Billy's been drinking a little bit today.
No.
I think you've been drinking a little bit today.
What? I'm gonna step out.
Just a couple, maybe 2.
Nice to meet you.
Are you kidding me? Hey, Lisa, there's a
Oh my
whole lot of
goodness,
nothing
yes.
going on for you out there.
What?
And now this guy.
Billy.
I know.
Billy, okay. We get it. It's a done deal.
Alright.
Give her the number and the
Alright.
phone.
What?
Phone number and name.
Hey, listen,
that's all we need.
I'm not trying to pimp her out, but guess what? She has no choice. A catch. A cat. He says, tell her I'm a catch.
Oh my
He goes,
goodness.
tell her I'm a catch. What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? For these monks and these mooks that you think might have a
Oh
shot.
my God. All right, listen.
Oh,
Can he
Billy.
hear me? Can he hear me?
No, I'm not listening to you.
I want him to Facebook. Go to my Facebook and let us know his information. And I'll pass him
Come
on.
here. Hold on. I'm out. Go.
Hey,
All right, so
we're,
go ahead.
I know it's everybody's online right now, but hey, listen, I am. I'm not mean.
Look at the cleft chin.
I'm not weird. I work for the government, and I'm back in Saudi Arabia. So don't let Billy talk you into it or out of
Are
it.
you kidding me?
Okay.
Hey, listen. I have no more time for any of your nonsense. Lisa Marie. Or, hey,
Okay.
Bailey. Zip it. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
This
No.
guy.
oh,
Great.
man.
I'm with you, Billy. Billy, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. He's
Lisa
like,
Marie, you can
Yes.
continue to walk down the path of I think I got it figured out, or Billy can step into this thing and have this guy say, are you kidding me?
all right, listen, Billy. Absolutely.
Hey,
We
Lee,
need to get his name
guess
and
what?
number, buddy.
Even a guy like you and me get to hit a home run once in a while. I just did.
Where's your better half tonight?
Ooh,
Yeah, where's your better half?
gonna get easier. Ooh, I'll take it.
I'm about to take him off the
He's
screen.
He's unsupervised. Clearly unsupervised.
Hey, Billy, where's Daisy?
You guys are the best. I love you guys. So I gotta be honest. We've been out for a while.
Yeah.
I wanted to chit chat about all these great things that Lisa Marie had wanted to talk about. Might not be the right night, Lee.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, we were just talking, Billy.
I love
I
you
don't know.
guys.
I'll talk to you later, buddy. You're the best. Okay. When
Well, that was
I'm gonna tell
interesting.
you. Let me tell you something. When his picture came up that he arrived in for the show,
Yeah.
I just looked at it and said, "Oh, geez, we are in trouble."
Not again. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. He's mhm.
He's
Yeah,
had a couple of drinks.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, and he's a bartender, so it's guess what? Been a lot more than a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple is nothing. It's like water for him.
Yeah.
But that's not water. He hasn't been drinking water, that's for sure. So, Lisa, we need to get that. Now, I'm going to tell you something. My feeling is that seems like a pretty nice guy, but that's my whole. And he's very embarrassed himself, I think. But he's not going to give up a shot. You know what I mean? It's like the Hamilton. It's like the Hamilton not throwing away my shot. So.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Okay. So
where were we?
we're talking about commodities, people being commodities, people being, that sounds so raw, to say that.
Yeah, it is.
But but you remember the nickname for going to the clubs and stuff is that club a meat market? You remember they used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
And then it got away from that to the very much more because of the apps, I think, to more.
Now the apps are the meat market. Yeah.
Now they are, absolutely. But at first, it came down to being able to hook up with somebody for an intimate evening, a nice, an opportunity to get to know somebody. But now you're right. Now it's not. No one wants to get to know anybody. They just want to go out on a date. And they just want to meet. They want to meet somebody that might get a chance, and that's what they're looking. And is that what women are looking for, also, Lisa?
I don't think women are. No, women
are looking for a one nighter.
I'm not saying no women, but I think the majority of the ones, at least that I know, they're women get emotionally attached a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah. But do you think that's still the case? I think women have kind of unnecessarily evolved into this feminist, and I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, but there is this. Why can't we be like men? And that attitude of I'm just going to have fun, I'm going to have a good time, and to hell with it. Let's just throw.
And a lot of women have that idea, but then they end up going out with some guy thinking it's going to be a fling, and then they get upset when they see him with another woman. So they break their own hearts. So
right,
I don't really recommend that either. Yeah.
No.
So
and I'm not recommending or not recommending that. I'm just saying that's my observation has been. That where do you have people that are women, men, and the like who are looking for, but there's still a bunch of people that are looking for a long-term relationship, and I don't think
people get married every day, thousands of them, so there's plenty of people out there that are looking for a long-term relationship. There's just as many of those as there are people that are just looking for hookups. So
right.
And half the people that get married every day are men, so it's not just women either.
Clark Crawford said, "Listen, y'all, I'm ready for my match. Women of God, real, honest, loving, healthy, and ready for her dream man." I like how he threw that in. I'll be her dream man. Yeah,
Clark's a sweetheart.
I know he is. He really is great. And his
Yeah.
daughter, she's an
She's,
amazing young lady. She's an amazing
yeah,
young woman. So
she
much
is.
fun to hear the updates from him on what's happening with her and her life. Let's quickly just want to say thank you to Clark and Tora and Steve Day and Kent Daniel Villacencio and Gary Cox. I don't know Gary, but he joined us in. And hello, Gary. How are you? And thank you for liking our
Hi,
program.
Gary.
Hey, there she goes. So
Gary
Lisa,
is
you know
Gary
Gary?
is a world. I do. He's a world-renowned business and life strategist. He's been on Dr. Phil. He's been on The View. He's quite an inspiration to me in my life. So
Nice.
if you get a chance,
I will.
go look at his. It's GaryCox.com and check out his videos. He is an amazing human being. So I just thought
That's
I'd throw
really
that in
cool. Yeah, no, he didn't comment, but he definitely liked the program. We appreciate that. And that's
there. Yeah.
Gary Cox with an E, everybody, just so you know.
With an E in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Go check him out.
I will.
He's an amazing person, and I'm glad he's tuned in.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad he is too. Except for, well, I don't know if I'm glad he's tuned in. I hope he doesn't steal you away from us. But
No,
you never can
nobody
tell.
can steal me. Nobody can
Gary and
steal me.
Lisa. Gary and Lisa in their national broadcast right after Phil.
No,
Right after Dr. Phil.
no, he's just a really great person. He has got his life story. He's overcome so many tragedies in his life. He's a real inspiration for a lot of people. And you have too. I mean, you went through your double lung transplant. Now you're going through chemotherapy and all this other. So he's very, very much like you. He's
for tomorrow.
Yeah, and so he's had a long way.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
And
good.
I'm always proud of people when they can overcome huge obstacles in their life.
We ought to bring him on the show sometime if he's in.
I would absolutely love to.
If you want to reach out to him and see if he can come on next week, maybe
Sure.
we can have him.
Sure. Yeah, I'll see what he's
I don't
doing.
want to say next. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're booked for the next month.
Well, I know he does have a thing coming up in November, a big thing where he's speaking event there. So hopefully, maybe I can get to Orlando and check out.
That'd be cool, and we'll talk about it. I'd love to have him on. And I hope that he has an opportunity to come on with us and talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, it sounds like he's right in there with you. You guys sound like you both are doing the same kind of thing, and you're setting yourselves up to just be in a place where you can encourage people and help them achieve their dreams. And you've already done that with Bill. I mean,
yes.
Go forward. Lisa, you ought to get a Nobel Prize.
I know. He was a hard one, but look how much his life has changed in just a couple of months of just working together with him.
Still needs some work, but he's doing great though.
He still needs a little work. He needs a little supervision from time to time.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was with him right now. But the nice thing is he doesn't have a car to drive, ladies and gentlemen, if you're worried about that. He is Mr. Lyft. He's definitely Mr. Lyft. He's got his Lyft drivers on standby all the time, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good place to be. And I think, though, that he takes advantage of that. He needs to stop taking so much advantage of being a Lyft guy. All right. So what else did you want to talk about today? I mean, we're down to the place where we are at a half an hour. And I was thinking, Lisa, this show maybe could be a half-hour show unless we have a guest that's going to take us longer than that. But we can definitely go the whole hour. But I don't know. How do you feel about that? This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is production talk on the air.
Well, we were talking about the marketplace and how people are shopping and all this and that, and so the remedy for that is to get rid of your big checklist, get rid of your must-haves and all that, and just get to know people and look at them. It's not like commodities, but more as real people.
Yeah.
And that's when you can really make good connections with people.
And when you say also examine your must-haves, are they really must-haves? Really narrow your must-have list down. I mean, obviously you have to have one. I mean, the guy's got to be breathing, number one. I'm sure that's on most people's at my
age, it's optional,
long as that bank account's huge, I don't care if they're breathing or not. Yeah.
But
As long as they have a nice villa in Spain and they don't smell, we'll be good.
Nothing a little Febreze can't take care of.
Nothing a little Febreze can't take care of. That's absolutely correct. Oh my gosh, that's the bad.
So the other issue is the ratio of men to women on the dating sites. So there's a lot more men than women. So that creates a big problem. Women get 10 times as many messages. It's hard for women to keep up with that. I mean, your brain is not designed to be able to understand and respond to 1,000 messages a day.
Right.
And so these guys that are sending out messages, after a while, they just feel rejected, and they start to feel a little bit angry or frustrated or whatever, and rejected, and it starts to affect them. But I think they really need to understand that it's not really the rejection that they think it is. It's just, even though this person might like you, just the mental capacity to be able to respond to that many messages in one day, it's just impossible, especially with, everybody's working 2 or 3 jobs nowadays. You don't have time to sit and respond to 1,000 messages a day. So for the guys out there that aren't getting a lot of responses from the dating sites, don't take it personally, because it's the number, the ratio of men to women is skewed.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's
that's
one of the things also that I think obviously it's making it hard for the men who are trying to be serious. And then there's guys, but there's a ton of guys out there who, I must have said Siri or something serious. I must have, yeah, because my phone just turned on and said, what? No, I mean, that's sad though, because there's so many men who are really looking for somebody, and in this day and age, the reason, I mean, if you think about this, Lisa, in this day and age of the Me Too movement and everything, men are afraid that some woman's going to say, he touched me inappropriately, or he's a creepy creep, or whatever, all these things, when men are just trying to be authentic and they're just trying to show an appreciation for the lovely lady who's sitting across from them. And I'm going to tell you, from a man's point of view, it's difficult. And I know women are a little skeptical about going out with men who they don't know and that kind of thing. And I get that. But men are now more so. Used to be, we went out with, hey, okay, yeah, great. Would you go out? Yeah, let's go out. Cool. But now guys have to be on their guard because of people misrepresenting or misunderstanding what's happening.
That's just, if you're respectful to women, and you're not being suggestive or groping somebody, I don't think it's that difficult. I think women have a lot greater fears. I mean, they're gonna get
no
hurt,
question.
whatever else,
men
don't have to worry about that. As long as a man is respectful of a woman, respectful of her personal space, and not crude and making overtly sexual comments up front, and then I don't really think that they have a whole lot to worry about. I mean, if a woman is on a dating site, she's obviously looking to date. But
I've run across the situation where, yeah, he's nice. He's just a little too nice. What? How can you be too nice? How can a woman categorize a man as too nice? That's what I wanted. And that's one of the things I would like you to address, that, because that I've run across before too. Lee, you are so nice. The N-word. That's the N-word right there. Yeah, no question women have.
The nicer somebody is, the more I'm drawn to them. I mean, I love people being nice, but I think that when when a woman says, well, he's too nice, it's like a guy saying, well, she has a pretty face. It means I don't want to say why I really don't like her. I'm going to say that he's too nice. But oftentimes there's something that there's just not that physical attraction.
Yeah, no,
And so rather than saying I'm not physically attracted to him or whatever, they're just going to say he's too nice.
yeah.
And
I get that.
you know,
yeah.
Because nobody wants to hurt somebody's feelings. I mean, most people,
Right.
I think, are pretty nice, and they don't go out and intentionally hurt people's feelings. And it's the same thing when you go out with somebody and they're not your type, and you don't want to go out with them again. You don't intentionally just say, "Well, I think you're disgusting and you stink," and whatever. There's no reason to be rude to somebody.
Yeah.
We all try to put things in a delicate manner and say, well, you're just not my type. I'm not going to sit there and just put somebody on blast and make them feel horrible about themselves. So sometimes people just say, tearing them apart, just being like, you showed up.
There's a time for you to give
No. I mean, but like if you go out with somebody and you're like, oh, I don't want to date you again because you had sweat rings and your feet stink and your teeth were bad and you were
you brought your deer head along with you.
Yeah, right. So rather than going into all that and just blatantly insulting somebody, you just say,
Hi, Lisa Maria. It's good to know you. Thanks for going out with me. Hey, come on, look in the back of my truck. I got a deer.
Yeah, right. So sometimes people just say things to be nice,
It's okay. I get that. I totally get that. Steve Woodall piped in. He says the problem with most guys, they don't see with their heart, not gentlemen, and it gives those of us who know the value of a good woman a bad rap. So, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that's a true statement. Got a couple more people like the program. Steve, of course, and that's it. Okay, we had 5. There's 6 now that are liking the page. See, I got so many other people that are watching, folks. I want you guys to like and share. It's right there above Lisa's head. Okay, so just like and share, folks. We'd like to know who's watching, who's talking. Comment too if you get a chance. Steve, he says, I wear a lot of cologne, Andrea. Laugh out loud. I don't stink. Who's Andrea?
He always calls me Andrea. I don't know why he does that.
Nice. My dad does.
Remember, he did it before.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. That's cool. I guess that maybe that's your secret name. You've never told anybody. So you're playing it off. Anyway.
I don't know.
It's Andrea Zumbakalakta.
That's my alias.
Lisa Maria. Andrea Zumbakalakta. She's from Ukraine. Anyway, I don't know why I get off on those kind of tangents. So I get that that's a nice way to let a guy off the hook. I'd rather them say, you know what, dude, you wore the wrong shirt today. Look at that big mustard stain. And then of course I'd say, you're really gonna let a mustard stain freaking decide for you what guy's right or wrong?
You have to remember, like, if you rip on somebody and you're like, you're this, that, guess what? They're going to retaliate and they're going to say stuff that you don't want to hear. So it's just best to avoid being mean to people.
I agree. I agree. You just say, oh, okay, thanks. Move on. It hurts your heart though, because you sit there and you're trying to be authentic and nice, and you hear that's what women are looking for. Okay, so that's what you're doing, and then you're still getting shot down like a jet over Iwo Jima.
But I think a lot of times people are getting shot down because of that ratio thing, because of people, they're still shopping, and maybe you're okay, whatever. But I think I could do better. Let me roll the dice again, get it back on there, open those other 10,000 messages I got today and see what else I'm gonna, instead of really getting to know somebody.
Steve said hi. He also said,
"Oh, thanks, Steve."
He said your page says Andrea. I don't know, but then he said hi.
He doesn't say.
Whatever. I don't.
He just confuses me.
He's all right.
So.
He seems like a nice enough guy. Sorry,
Oh,
friend.
Steve's awesome.
That's cool. All right, so the ratio is obviously not in favor of men. What?
Not
How
in the
does
U.S.
how does a man overcome the ratio?
That's pretty hard to overcome.
Love hack. What's your love hack for that?
Well, it creates some other problems. Like, okay, so the men now, they get mad, frustrated, and they're angry and all of this because they send out all these messages and nobody responds. So you get guys that are just mad and angry. And if you say, hey, I'm not interested in going out with you, and they'll be like, well, I didn't want to go out with you anyway because you look like whatever. And so they're blowing up on you. Or what they do is that a lot of times they'll project. They'll say, well, I guess I'm not tall enough for you. I guess I'm not, rich enough for you, or whatever. And that's just projecting. They're taking their own insecurities and what they think low about themselves. Yeah. What is that?
That's one of the dating sites. Just kidding.
And they project it onto the women because they're frustrated and looking for answers, when the answer is it's just the ratio is skewed. Right. And the other problem it does with women, so you get these women, so they're getting thousands of messages a day. So what they do is they sort of overvalue themselves when they themselves have very little to offer.
Right.
You see what I mean?
I do.
So these women are like, I get 1,000 people ask me out a day. I'm all that. So then now that compounds the problem, Right. So women tend to overvalue themselves. And so then they're raising their standards and their, criteria get more difficult. And so the problem is just compounding in a lot of different directions. But once you understand the problem, then it's easier to address it.
So this is the woman on the page saying, everyone thinks I'm hot because I get 300,000.
Yes. Right. Right. But you know what? She's probably getting 400 messages a day. So she's like, I don't need to go out with you. I got all these other guys, right?
I know how to catch fish.
So.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's and I'm glad I'm not in the fish market right now, or the meat market out there. I mean, they're fun to go to and admire all the people who don't look like they normally look. They're all dolled up and they're all, wearing their bustiers and whatever. And you're like going, wonder what that looks like. Just, see, now I was about to say something bad. I'll say stripped down. With a t-shirt.
You've been hanging out with Bully too much.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean, just t-shirt and shorts, which of course is my preference anyway. I like women who are just down to earth and raw and just, don't care. I mean, believe me, my wife, boy, she looks good all the time. She makes sure that she gets up and looks good. That's just the way she operates. And I think you're probably exactly the same way. And that's great. But I also love the girls who are, while attractive, they're very laid back, got their t-shirt on and their sloppy t-shirt and their sweatpants on, like that. And then you turn around and you go, whoa, when they get ready to go out one night and you're like, holy crap, that's amazing. The difference between the two. But it's cool that they've got both those sides to them. You know what I mean? I mean, I definitely want to be able to go into a room and every head turns, that goes, what the hell? It's that song by Jeff Healey. She's leaving with me tonight. She's leaving here with me tonight. So you guys can look all you like. Look all you like. She's leaving with me tonight. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What else we want to talk about as far as the show goes today? So the meat market itself, and we know that we want the men to overcome that. I guess I could keep getting back to that, Lisa. I mean, it's obvious the men are just not, there's just so many guys out there. And I think that, unfortunately, a lot of the guys that are out there are the predators, and they're looking to see if somebody's going to, and they're making up web stuff on the site. And, trying to entice some woman or trying to suck her. Well, guess I'm gonna tell you, men, something right now. Women are too damn smart for your crap. So yeah, so you guys can stop that right now and get the hell off those pages, so that real men who are looking for
Yeah.
somebody can get
But
on.
see, those bad apples are the reason that women
I
are
know.
so,
Hesitant, yeah.
intimidated. Yeah, hesitant. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I get to the point where I see these news reports about some guy that took advantage of somebody, whatever, and I just want to go find them and give them a nice shot in the nose, break their nose. I just want to say, okay, well, guess what, dude? This is your first taste of being an idiot.
But you know what? There's bad women out there that do horrible things to men, and it kind of makes the rest of us look bad too.
Yeah. No, I agree,
So,
and I know that there are, but I think it definitely skews to the men more than it does. For sure.
Yes.
But because you just don't hear that much about women doing stuff to men, unless it was something that was, what's the word? I mean, something that, they've got background, I mean, it's just not, and men are too. I guess men have the background also that causes them to do what they do. No question. I mean, it's both sides. Women, I have found anyway, because I took criminal justice and stuff like that in college, and and the women who have been victimized don't typically flip into a victimizer like men do, except for when it comes to child abuse and things like that. It's something different altogether.
Right.
But when it comes to relationship stuff, there is problems. More men are more likely to flip to a violent way of taking care of resolving things than women are. But it doesn't mean women aren't. I mean, Lizzie Borden, how are you? There's been lots of psycho men, but there's definitely been some psycho women out there that we've got to be careful of. That men have to be careful of, because they're, it's what happens. It's an unfortunate part of life that we live in this country and in this world, because, people talk about this country, Lisa, and the dating and how it's difficult. Go around the world about dating. This is definitely a free for all, more so than anybody else in the world, really.
Well, I mean, some countries have a higher ratio of women to men, and so that might make it a little easier.
Oh, yeah, Lisa, that's right. You got to go visit Iceland.
I'm going to go to Alaska. There's no women there. I'm joking. I'm going somewhere warm.
Your head and your bare heads. Hey, look what I got. Yeah, guys who are into taxidermy. I don't know. That sounds, but no, Iceland though. Those guys, those guys are tall and blonde and beautiful body men. Yeah, man. Hello, I'm from Iceland.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Oh
Norway.
My goodness.
Go to Norway. Find yourself a nice place.
I think, you can't really change the marketplace. I mean, us as individuals can't do anything to change the way things are. But if people understand it, I think they can better deal with it. If a guy understands, look, this woman probably gets 1,000 messages a day. She didn't, just dismiss me because she thinks she's better than me, or there's something wrong with me. She just can't deal with it. So
can't deal. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. You just keep staying up there, update, whatever. What do you got, a text from somebody?
No, I froze up again. I'm gonna jump out and jump back.
Oh, you're there though. That's weird. Yeah, she's there, Liz. You guys all know that. She's watching. Steve Day, thanks for piping in again. Yeah, women do have it worse. Steve Day also said exactly, the bad guys ruin it for the genuinely good ones. Well, Steve, I don't know about you, buddy. I think you need to be calling somebody and asking somebody out for a date. Now, she's back. Did she hear me say that? Did you hear me say that?
I heard something. What was that all about?
No, Steve said exactly, the bad guys ruin it for the genuinely good ones. And I said, Steve, I don't know. You might want to call somebody and ask them out for a date. That's all I said. So we'll input two and two together. She's always said some nice things about you, buddy boy. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. But that's one of the things that's got to be a problem for you. I know it was for a girl that I dated in high school. He said, I do. Oh, he says he does ask you out.
Who, Steve? Oh, Steve Day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does, huh? He's asked you out before?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Ooh. All right, no commenting. That's fine. No, she was, drill team, and she went to my church. So she was a neat young lady. I loved her to death. She was really sweet. I still know her. Still hang out. Well, I don't hang out. She's in California, so we don't hang out. But we talk on Facebook and stuff. But yeah, no, guys, man, no one ever asked her out because she just everything about her was perfect almost, or that's what it seemed to be. People seemed that it was perfect. And I didn't ask her out either. She asked me out. So because I'm a fun guy, we just going getting milkshakes and drinking them together, that kind of
It's a good thing Billy doesn't hear you talking like that.
Yeah,
all over you.
Oh, you pussy. Anyway, yeah. Well, Steve Day he said still waiting. Laugh out loud. Anyway, so yeah, so I imagine that's something you've run into, and I know a lot of women do run into that. One of the things I think is really cool is one of my favorite actresses. I love reading about the actresses who date regular guys that like go under an assumed name on Match or something like that, and they look for guys who have and they just ask and they just hit them up and let's go out, and the guy shows up. And I love the guys who have no idea who the person is. It's like, oh my god, dude, she's like a star. That girl is like a superstar, and how do you not know who she is? But I think they like that. They like good. I don't want to be perceived as that girl from the movie that you saw. I'm a completely different person, and I think that they run across that a lot. And I think that's one of the reasons why they kind of date actor actress inbreeding. They hang together because they think the other one knows them better and stuff like that.
Well, they have things in common, so.
Of course they do, and they also understand that people, idolize them for their role, not necessarily for who they are. And I think that happens in real life too. You see somebody and you think to yourself, whew, like Gwen Stefani, okay? She's iconic, and so, but she's a pretty neat lady. And just because she dresses all up when she's on stage and all that, she seems like she's totally chill kind of person when she's hanging out with her man, Blake, and she's got her jeans on that are ripped and, not trying to be Miss Fashionista and that kind of thing. But there are people in real life that translate to that. I think there are women who knock out, oh my gosh, but that's not, how about my vote for Maxim Cover Girl? You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people were preconceived as to what kind of person you are just from pictures. And it's like, dude.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I don't worry. Yeah. I mean, the people that know me, they're the only ones that matter. I mean, people that know me, they know I'm a nice person. And the rest of the people, they can think what they want. It's none of my business what they think.
Exactly.
So.
Well, anyway, we're wrapping up here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to thank you for watching Love Hacks today, and Lisa and I had a good time. I hope Billy will
always do.
Waking up tomorrow without a headache. And
I'm gonna call him at 5:30 and be like,
I know you are. Yeah. No, call him at like 3. Wake his butt up. Talk to him for like an hour. Well, the problem with that is you have to wake up at 3. Yeah. One of those things. Anyway,
it'll be easier for me because I wasn't drinking all night. He was.
So do you have a love hack for us though to close the show out there, Lisa?
Yeah, I think that you need to get rid of your checklist and be more open to dating people that don't necessarily check all your boxes. You know, have take some of your little search parameters and get rid of them, and open your. If you're not having success dating and you've been on the market a while, untick some of the check boxes. Date a little bit outside of what you're normally looking for, and that's where people usually find what they're looking for.
Yeah, and I would suggest to you also that don't judge a book by its cover. You
Oh,
know,
definitely.
you know, and it doesn't hurt to take a date with somebody. I think that's something also, Lisa. It's like I'd love to try and date this guy, but I don't want him to. I'm just looking at his post. I want to give it a shot, but all at the same time, he seems like he's a really nice guy, and I don't want to shut him down. That's the hard part about going out with somebody is saying, yeah, we're not going out again. You know,
Yeah.
you know. So, but your little love hack, does that apply, do you think, more to men or women?
Probably women. I think women have more little check marks, you know, that you've got to meet this and that and this and that. And so I think a lot of them have been single a long time because they're not willing to compromise from the little check boxes. You know, they're not willing to date somebody that's under 6 feet tall or, you know, whatever. And, you know, if you've been single for a while and you're like, I can't find anybody, maybe untick some of those little must-haves and date outside of what you normally would.
Sure.
You might actually find what you're looking for.
I mean, look around, man. Look around and you see both men and women. You see men with women you wouldn't expect them to be with. And you see women, I noticed this more, of course. You see women with men you would never expect that they're going out with. I mean, I've seen some of the most drop dead gorgeous women walking around with trolls, and it's like,
yeah,
that guy doesn't look like he has a job. Why would that woman be going out with him? I don't get this. You know, at the same time, I'd love to find a really rich woman who just wanted me to take me on as her boy toy.
Yeah, sure.
So, Lisa, if you ever hit the lottery, give me a call.
I will. I'll do that. We'll see. We'll see how things are going at that time.
Yeah, exactly. You hit the lottery. I don't think you're even thinking about Lee Bailey at all. It's like, I am in the Caribbean right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Lisa, you're the best. I love you, and
love you too, Lee.
We will get together and be Billy's chaperone here next week or two. We'll have to do that.
The next time you guys are going out, you need to invite me.
But you know it's one of those last minute bull crap. So
I know.
We'll schedule something.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do our show from on location somewhere. That'd be kind of fun too.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to ramp up to that. So we're ramping up to doing that exactly. So it'll be fun. Cool. Thanks, Lisa. Take care, kiddo.
All right.
You're the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.